and it's hard to like think that way. Wait a minute, let's slow down a minute. It's more like, okay, what's the next step? Let's get there. Let's, and that's the way I think. It's like, what's
Yeah.
next? What are these things I'm doing today to get, to the next step, and laying the, let's just push.
And that's the exact that's exactly the thing with high performers, right? Is that we're so used to getting results really, really fast that to actually take a step back, it's counterintuitive. It creates so much anxiety. It's so difficult. So I know that feeling so well because I've been through it. Same as you, being like, I just want to get there. I just want to know what's going to happen and how to do it. And yet, I find that when I do manage to stop myself, it helps so much. But yeah, no, sorry.
So I guess, elaborate on that a little bit. So, if we are, in that mindset, we're that high performer, we're pushing, we're trying to make all this happen, the timing of that and how much time we should allow for just, I guess walk me through that a little bit, of slowing down, what we should be thinking about, what we're, really our goal in that process is.
Absolutely. I think in terms of timing, it's hard to say. It's very different from person to person. And so I don't want to give a number of, days, weeks, months that people need to slow down. I think we feel it when that stage happens of needing to understand what's going to be next. There's a sense of not necessarily wanting to be out in the world, and we feel when we're ready to go out in the world. So I think what really needs to happen during that time, and I think for your listeners, for example, is really thinking and reflecting about the why. Why is it that you have decided to go into real estate investment, right? Why is it that you've decided to change your life and to let go of that previous career where you might have got to a very high level? Clearly something wasn't working. And there's a great book by Marshall Goldsmith. It's called What Got You Here Won't Get You There. And so it's a really good testament to, well, if we want to get to a different place, then we have to act differently. So I think in that time, the process is really thinking about what is it that we really want to create, and slowing down for a minute instead of just going, you know what, I'm just going to talk to as many people as possible and do all the things very, very quickly. It's like, well, what is it that I'm trying to create, and being very intentional about it. So really taking the time to choose, who is it that I want to learn from? Who is it that I think is doing something similar to what I want to do? What freedom am I trying to create? Because I would imagine, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but I would imagine that a lot of your listeners are people who have decided to create more freedom in their life. So what is that? What does that look like? What is it that I want to do with that? And the reason we want to do that is so that we don't end up being totally consumed by learning everything new and not actually creating that freedom, but instead doing exactly what we were doing before, just in a different environment or in a different field. Does that make sense?